Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Hampton, Georgia, here at the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway, also known as the Echopark Speedway. Here as we start off our playoffs here for Season 2 of the Prestige Cup Series, once again here from Echopark Speedway. As, yeah, obviously a little bit of something, we're going to have to talk about here in the race. But hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here to start your playoffs here from for the Prestige Cup Series. But obviously, kind of a something to talk about. Starting the playoffs here at a super speedway style track. It's definitely going to be interesting to see navigate their way through the packs and everything else here. But definitely going to be interesting how people want to navigate this first race here, playoffs. But we'll go back down to trackside here. Take a look at some of your fastest drivers for tonight's race here in Atlanta. Some of these drivers lined up here. We'll go ahead and set up and go here on that practice. 9 minutes left in practice. See a bunch of gaggle of cars going around here. So briefly, we'll show you kind of the fastest laps here on the track. Obviously, it's a super speedway, so I'm not gonna take a lot of account of clicking who's not right now. Right now, currently JJ Moore at number 5, top of the board there with that 29. What to talk about here as we get ready to, look into the playoffs here. We got to talk about your points going into tonight's race here. As we'll pull up your point standings going into the first race of the playoffs here. Screen just barely as we see it right there. Tyler Holmes, obviously phenomenal regular season, comes into the playoffs here. 26, already 6 points above the cutoff with all the stage points done throughout the season. That's avoided him very handsome gap here going into Atlanta, which is something that a lot of these drivers are going to, with how unpredictable Atlanta or Echopark can be here. We'll have to talk about in the pre. Go about there, but you see Wyatt Thompson back there, P2, 16 points above the cutoff. Obviously, Wyatt and Tyler, class at the field in that regular season. Max Ford back there in P3. Davis P4. Joseph Enright, Colby Duckworth, Carmelo Echeverria, and Peter Hopp all coming there above the cutoff, but technically 7th on back, all tied. Coming into Atlanta, obviously, no wins for those drivers and no stage point for those drivers to help get them that little bit of a cushion coming into Atlanta tonight. So really going to be a battle. I would really say outside of Thompson and Helms, those two seem like they can really afford to have a bad race and at least come out here at least round even here on the cutoff line. But Max Ford on back is going to be the people we're going to have to look at to make moves, to just continue to try to bring themselves to the field to give themselves a better opportunity going into next week, because Atlanta is just so unpredictable. Any of these super speedways are unpredictable. You can get caught up in a lap 1 wreck and there's nothing you can do about it, and you just have to hold your on and hope that next week goes better. Looking at the top of the boards there, like I said, Tyler Holmes, I with how many cars have shown up right now, I think cars in the session can afford to really have a terrible race and at least still it'll stay above the cutoff. Wyatt Thompson needs to have a decent day in the fight, but he doesn't have to go out and outright win. Guys like Jacob Bryant, Nicholas Road, everybody, like I said, I would say 3rd on back need to consistently put together good finish to put themselves in a bad spot. Because even someone like Max Ford, he's 30 points, but only 4 points above the cutoff coming into Atlanta. He cannot afford to have a bad race and get wrecked out and get last place points. He'll be behind the 8 ball for sure coming into next week. Back down the trackside here. We'll take a look at some of these drivers and what they're doing in the track and what they're trying to do. See a little gaggle of cars right now, actually led by the 11 of Max Ford. Pull up everything back up here and for you guys fastest lap to practice. And something we do have to talk about is Atlanta is so much different than any super speedway we're going to come to on the circuit. on the schedule. Not like Atlanta. I mean, it's not like Daytona. Definitely not like Talladega. Um, this technically drives like a super speedway where you're going to go flat out. But as the tires, as we put laps down, hopefully we can, get some runs in. I don't want to, be pacing the whole race. Obviously, that's not my discretion. But if the tires, if we get, 20, 30 laps on these tires, the tire wear will come to an effect here. You're going to see the drivers actually start to lift a little bit through the corners to make sure that they're keeping off each other. It'll become more of like a who can navigate to the front more. It's not, and it's so unique coming to Atlanta now, especially the next gen machines, because if we do get that long run, it really shows, who can take the tires the best, or who can just get the most out of their car to make up spots. Because a lot of the times, if we do get that green flag run, kind of just sit in line until someone makes a mistake, or until we go down, and make those green flag pit stops. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these drivers are going to navigate tonight. See, they're going 3 wide, which means you can make it work. At least in these first, I would say 10-ish laps, you could probably, go 3 wide and be aggressive and make up some stops. But after, I'd say 15-ish laps, that's when you'll start to see, depending on what line you're on. Usually, if you're on the top, you usually burn off the rears a little bit, and you'll start to see the car a little slide around a lot on exit. But if you're on that bottom, you'll actually burn up the right front. And you'll actually start to push in the corners, and you'll actually have to lift. Or you'll see, you might see it tonight, where you'll see a car who's been running the bottom, really using his stuff up, will start to get tight and push up into that second lane if we do get side-by-side action. And that's what causes those wrecks. Me about managing the car, managing your pace there, right there. Was at the 15, actually get up into the 77 there, and that's exactly what we'll probably see a lot. That in the race, there'll be cars behind the 77, which will cause a stack up, which will most likely cause a wreck. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these drivers are going to go about looking into tonight's race. Something I have to talk about as well as we look into the playoffs is we see, almost 20 cars on the dot here. Remember, we only have 16 drivers racing for the championship tonight. There's a couple of people here not racing for a championship, right? Look back at Hayden Goalie, Cash Culp, Jordan Fisher, Jordan Fisher in the 14. Some of these guys, Stanley, in the 95. They're not racing for anything. They're racing for trophies, right? And this has always been a cat and mouse game that I always love to see here, especially at these super speedways, because a lot of these drivers are racing for a championship, and they need every position. But there's some drivers here that are just racing the race. They want to go out there and try to win or get a good podium spot, or get the interview at the end of the race to shout out their sponsors and get some TV time, right? And it's that cat and mouse game of, what do you do? Or if you're a non-playoff driver, do you push hard? But do you give these guys the benefit of the doubt? If you are a playoff driver, do you let some of those non-playoff guys go just so you don't, put yourself in a bad spot, or maybe put a target on your back going into the playoffs furthermore, right? Because that's the worst thing you can have happen is, right, you have someone that isn't even racing for a championship, have a reason to race you bad or wreck you or put you in a spot to wreck yourself. These playoff drivers want every benefit of the doubt that these drivers can give them, even from, their playoff competitors. Because everybody's trying to go down there and race for that championship there later this season. And it's going to be interesting to see here at Atlanta how these non-playoff drivers navigate through this race, how the playoff drivers navigate through this race to, try to get themselves up in a points position spot to get them into the next round of the playoffs. We'll take a look at your schedule here, see what's coming up in the next week and there forward. Looking at it, obviously we're here at Atlanta for the first race of the playoffs, then we go to Darlington and then to Kansas. So now you come in Atlanta where a lot can go bad very quickly. Right now on your screen, this very much could happen in the race. We have a track that a lot could go bad. We go into Darlington, where it's one of the most difficult tracks that we go to on the schedule now, with the increased horsepower, the less downforce, less aero on the car has made it a lot more difficult for the drivers, and a lot could go wrong at Darlington. We go back to the Kansas, the one of the best tracks one of the best mile and a half we go to on the schedule when it comes to racing wise. Not a lot of tire wear, just really good hard racing. The whole race there at Kansas. Obviously, there is a little bit of tire wear, especially here in the next gen machine, but not enough to really work a whole lot. We practice coming to a close. Prather, Moore, Hop, Davis, and Echopark, your top 5 here as we get ready to get in the qualifying here. Start your playoffs. Lots of drivers out here on track. We'll take a look at one of your playoff drivers. I would say a little bit of an underdog. He's raced really well all season. But you know, looking to get this first win. Almost had a win here at Talladega, I believe. Yeah, it was at Talladega where his sponsor here, Andy Duckworth, sponsored that race. Almost won that race, but he's shown a lot of pace. Shown very solid pace throughout the whole season. It's shown a lot of sureness in this car. But there's a lot of times where he's gotten put in a bad spot. Colby has, and made the best decision for himself, right? And put himself in a spot to get some good finishes, and obviously putting his way into a playoffs spot. Sorry, his second time lap. P2 on the board. Fastest here. Exit top of the board at 31.6. Colby to the line. Colby will improve up to P2, 31.39. Wyatt Thompson takes the top spot. Davis, new number for the Dorian Davis machine, as he is switched to the 87 for this race. I don't know if this will be a mainstay here, DRS Cup Series, but driving this number 87 Trackhouse font. Obviously, Trackhouse car, right? Normally ran by Ross Chastain. Obviously has that 87 that we saw Connor Zilic ran a couple races in last season here in the Trackhouse in his couple of part-time starts before he went full-time Cup Series racing for this season here in 2026. So at the timing board, Tyler Helms up to P2, Owen Fisher P3. Looks like the PRS Cup Series did make the rule that cannot cut the apron. It looks like here at Atlanta, it's pretty easy to cut all the way down there to that grass there on the front stretch. You can get probably a good half a tenth of time out of doing that. Looks like they made that rule that you're not allowed to cut. And I'm pretty sure. Max Ford up to P2, 31.367. Across the line here, Dorian Davis, and now P8 up to P4. Good lap by Kendorian. Drop up to P6. Peter Hoppy, my apologies. Good lap for the 83. Trying to chase a championship in his own right. He'll slow that car down to a slow, and Looks like JJ Moore, Riley Ibanez decided not to set a lap here in qualifying. Do this 83 roll down here. Park that car sooner or later. Qualifying tick you down here. 35 seconds left in qualifying. You're not enough. The 5 or the 44 to set a time, even if they wanted to. So Wyatt Thompson, Max Ford, Tyler Helms, your top 3. And look at that. 2-3 in points. Qualifying. Right there in that top 3. Back there in P4. Maybe this is the race for Kendorian. You know, finally knocked down that door. And getting ready to go green. But just waiting on these cars to get down here, do their pit stalls, and getting some last second change before we get here to go 100 laps here from Atlanta. Yeah, most everybody getting ready to go. We're going to go ahead and get your starting grid here, presented by High Velocity Team for which race of the playoffs here for the PRS Cup Series here for season 2. Wyatt Thompson, Max Ford going to be that front row alongside Tyler Helms, Dorian Davis at 87 machine. Carmelo Echeverria back there, 5 alongside Peter Hoppy in that 83 at that row 3. Fisher in the 14 by Joseph Enright rounds out that row 4, and rounding out the top 10, Prather and Colby Duckworth. We bring goalie back there in the 55 will be P11 alongside Nicholas Rode in the 29 machine. The 48 back there in 13, Ash Culp rounding out that 7th row back there. On Brassard, 15th at 78 machine alongside Payne goalie Jack Stanley, Jackson Brown, my apologies, rounding out the field. JJ Moore, Riley Ibanez. I don't know if JJ's gonna potentially gonna be doing race control in here, but at least right now that rounds out your top 20 from Atlanta. So a couple talking points here before we get into tonight's race. 100 laps and a stage caution on lap 30. 80% fuel, 5 sets of tires, including the set they have on tonight. Always we have that one faster pair for these drivers in case they need to take it. Now tonight's race weather going in tonight. 69 degree air temp, 71 degree track temp, the 61% humidity. The wind, but partly cloudy, but I don't think that's going to change any effectiveness and how this race is going to go. But 100 laps here to start the playoffs here in season 2. We'll have the 3 playoffs drivers right up here inside the top 3. Actually, 4 playoff drivers. This front 4, so it'll be interesting to see what these drivers do. You see the lights off on the pace car. We'll get ready to go green this time, guys. We're going to hand this flag over to Barney the flagman as we're getting ready to go 100 laps here from Atlanta to start playoffs here in season 2 of the PRS Cup Series. Across the stripe to lead lap 1. Give it to the 11. Max Ford takes it. Ready to start lap 2. Already that top side getting a little bit of a momentum. Already built up. You see the 3 of Tyler Hunt caution. 95, Jack Stanley. Got a meatball. He's got that. Yeah, look at that right front. Right front name on that 95 machine. Take a look and see what happened here. 5 machine. Reckon in the back here, yeah, the 95 just comes down on. That's Brassard in the 78 there. AJ Moore caught up in this early. Brassard, not a lot of damage, but a little bit of damage to the 48 of Jacob Bryan already. So caution will wave already early this race, and we rack him here again. So for the most part, everything stays the same. Max Ford, Tyler Helms, Wyatt Thompson's top 3. Dorian Davis still rounding out your fast forward back there in that 87 machine. Carmelo Cabrera, Colby Duckworth, but really everybody stayed the same outside. Guys in the back. You still have some drivers down pit side. JJ Moore trying to take some of that damage on that 5 machine. Obviously got caught up in the wreck. See him come out. A little bit of right front damage still under that machine, but he's to stay on the lead lap, I think, is the big goal for him. Jack Stanley back out on pit road in that 95 machine. Ali Ibanez still down pit road here. I don't remember seeing him get involved in this wreck at all, but down pit side there in that 44 machine. Obviously, this is the New York racing car. In a time to time here in real life, so Riley Brassard. A lot of damage to him. Obviously, a nod to Furniture Row Racing. I like the subtlety. 78. Coming up here to your top of the board here, kind of the 4 big names here in the Cup Series. Obviously, Max Ford has had a quiet season, but got that win. Obviously, the 2nd and 3rd here don't really need an introduction. Tyler Helms, Wyatt Thompson, 8 combined wins, regulation. Back there, Canoy, obviously, last year's champion in the PRS Cup Series. So, everybody else is trying to run these guys down. So just a reminder, we do have that stage on lap 30, which means we'll be going 25 to go here in stage 1 once we hit the green flag. So we continue to wreck, all we're doing is counting down to that stage caution, which, at least these guys up front are looking for, right? Need those stage points to find that gap to the cars behind, especially if you're that 11 of Max Ford, right? Only 4 points above the cutoff. Getting a stage win here would be, championship, saving move. Get up here and race up here and keep this lead and win stage 1. Obviously, we still have 25 laps to get there, and anything can happen here. 5 laps. Lights are off on that pace car, leading us back to green. He'll once again take the hard left turn on the pit road. The race back over to the front 2. The Toyota Chevy front row. You see the 11. He actually picked the top side. They're ready to go back into the Echopark restart zone. We're back green. Really big jump out of this 11 machine. But you just see, will Tyler Holmes go with them? Will that 87 go with them? Are they going to leave him out to dry here? Looks like there goes the 87 of Kenoran Davis. Good jump to the top side. Help from the 77 of Thompson. So now it's going to be side by side for the race lead going here in the 3 and 4. Start this restart. Give it to the 87. Kenoran Davis. Wyatt Thompson going to try to get clear. They're going to jump out down to the bottom side, and it'll be up to Colby Duckworth to spearhead that top side. Help from the 29. Help from that 31 as well. Duckworth up there in the 33. Trying to make this top side work. You see the 11 jumping up there. A little bit of a side draft on that top side, trying to keep them back. See that 87, that 77. Working together. Two teammates trying to, take a hold of this race lead here. The 11, Max Ford coming up to the top side there. And a huge side draft from that top side. Here comes Tyler Helms. 87, trying to block here. Race lead for now. Gonna jump up and foot in the 11. 11's there, Max Ford to the outside. And we recently just got an update here with these next gen machines, and really with iRacing as a whole. I'm unsure if they're using the updated horsepower, but in any car on the service, you can actually up the horsepower up to 110%, at least here on the NASCAR side of things. But also, I was doing some testing here for after dark on Saturday nights. The 11 it up into the outside wall. Caution will wave. Max Ford up into the outside wall. Huge damage on the right side of that machine. See what happened to this 11 machine. Just hooked by the 77. Definitely not intentional. It just looks like the 11 trying to squeeze that inside lane just a little bit. Man. Yeah. Saw the 77 come up just a little bit. It's that left rear of the or there. Didn't look like it was intentional at all. But it, like I said, we're on that lap 10, right? I said think about 10 to 15 laps. The handling start to go away on these race cars, and we're on lap 10. And you saw the 77 just come up just a tiny bit, like maybe a quarter of a car length, and that was just enough to get into the back of the 11 machine. And still trying to lip it down here. He'll probably go. Oh, got back up to the 50. But not what Max Ford wanted to see. You're gonna have to use that fast pair early this race. A lot of these drivers are gonna want to save that as long as they can in case something like this happens later in the race. But I assure that Max will have to take this faster pair now. Yeah, and there it goes. Saw a couple of cars behind him, probably coming in, topping off on some Sunoco race fuel. But you see Max probably going in back there, looking at the replay, seeing if he did anything wrong. That's something that's really cool, I think, when it comes to you can actually go back and see, okay, did I do something wrong? He's probably saying like, hey, probably talking something to the 77 there. I wouldn't say it was completely the 77's fault. The 11 was pinching a little bit, but definitely the 77 came up the track, just barely got into the left rear quarter. Definitely wasn't intentional by Wyatt. I don't think Wyatt's the kind of guy to do that. But obviously, I put that 11 machine in a pretty predicament for the rest of the race here, because he has to not only probably try to get up here and get some stage points, but and survive the rest of the race, but he does have that faster pair to lean on, like probably like 80 90% of the field. So like right now, it looks like 2 drivers have used that fastest pair. That is JJ Moore. Oh, JJ Moore. Max Ford. Kylie Ibanez, it looks like, maybe. Jacob Bryant. No. JJ Moore. And 95. Jack Stanley. Already used up those faster pairs. So 3 drivers already have to use those up pretty quickly. Definitely not what they wanted to see early, but now if you get tore up, you don't really have a choice, right? Now with the DP clock on iRacing, you can't just sit down there and take the required repairs and take the loss. You have to, if you have a meatball, for the most part, you have to come down, take that fast repair. Here we go once again. Gonna be a little bit of a change-up. It's gonna be the 87 and the 77. Davis, Thompson, back into the restart zone. The lead us into lap 13. Going in front of his teammate there. 77 will be that bottom side. Once again, it's gonna be that 33. Duckworth's gonna lead that top lane. Ali Holmes is gonna have to find some new dancing partners here. Obviously working really well with that 12 and with that 11 machine. Evan's in the back now. Ali jumps up to the top side there, gonna work with Duckworth. Try to get himself up to the front. He's going to be side by side with the 14 of Jordan Fisher. That P4 position. That front 3 on that bottom side will get clear. And this is what we've seen a lot here today, especially on the sim. If that bottom line can get linked up, it's really hard to get the top lane going. And you'll start to see that top lane slinky back and back and back throughout the field here. As long as that bottom lane can keep connected. Right now, the 29, that's Nicholas Rowe, not really back on the back bumper of that 14 machine. That's going to allow that top lane to continue to try to work a little bit here, or at least they maintain with that 29 as they are side by side with Nicholas Rowe on that bottom side. That side drive. Nicholas Rowe jumps up to the top. And it breaks up that bottom once again. That'll be the 15 of goalie. And on the bottom side for, and he's moved his up. Going to the fast forward. Up 12 positions from where he started. Try to keep that track position there in that 15 machine. To see top side trying to do everything they can to keep this bottom side back, right? Look at this 29 here. You probably see him try to get down there on that left rear quarter. Try to side draft this bottom lane the best we can. Not going to be side by side with Gabriel goalie. He tried to push his I believe it could be a brother out to the front here. Bottom side to the top, a little bit of a run here out of 34. We're starting to see it already. Goalie having an issue here. They're going to go 3 wide. Hayden is having a little bit of an issue keeping it on the bottom. They scored there, just like that. Get back clear down to the bottom. I'll actually leave the Max Norris back to 11. He'll be stuck in the middle. I think the 81 will let him in. With all that bound up front, that's allowed once again this bottom lane. Start to take a little bit forward compared to the bottom. Back to the line. Going 4 to go here in stage, no, 3 to go. 4 to go. Stage 2, stage 1, my apologies. Can this top line have anything for this bottom side right now? No, Atlanta's a lot different than, like a Daytona, but just because it's hard to get that run, right? At Daytona, that's how you have someone pull out and you get 3 or 4 cars lined up. It can go up. And get back up to that. To get side by side with the race lead, but here comes 10. He's going to jump up. Give this top side an opportunity to get the run that they need. Saw the 29 jump up. I'm going to try to take him through wide, but Ken with another good block there. Let's go up here and lead this race. Funny because he dropped out of the lead to lead the top side, which makes me think that maybe White was getting a little hot temp-wise. He jumped out to lead the top side. Maybe he thought he could go out there and lead it. Now here comes the 14. He thought about jumping up top. Stay with the 77 for now. By 2, that back there for the P3. Position is that's Abraham goalie. Trying to hold on to a podium spot here to get around to the final lap here in stage 1. Exactly what Wyatt Thompson needed to do. We came in a little bit behind compared to Tyler Helms. That's why. Now something stupid happens. You got to turn 4. Wyatt Thompson gonna come around here and win stage 1 here from Atlanta. They just on lap 30, so 5 laps to go here in stage 1. My apologies, everybody. I was looking at last week's stuff. Going back forward. Going right now that everybody's content right now, just for now, right? And where they are. Top side once again, not be able to do much. JJ Moore jumping up, try to lead the top. JJ is going to be really aggressive on these side drops to get this pack up there. I'll do that 14 quarter panel. Leaving the 14. Looking like he wants to jump out of line there. Once again, this top side. Nothing can happen of it. We've seen driver after driver come to the front here on this bottom side, jump up top, trying to make the top side quick, and they just cycle their way back to the back. Now we'll hit the white flag lap here in stage 1. If I'm this 14, I might try to build a run here. Oh, the 83 is going to go around. Caution will wave. Wyatt Thompson will win stage 1. Peter Hoppy around here, around in the backstretch. At the 83 right there. Might be, it just looks like a bad push. Yeah, just pushing hard at the end of the stage. Like relatively never mind, he's got quite a bit of damage on that left side now, so unfortunate for Hoppy. Needed something to go his way, but Tyler Helms, Wyatt Thompson will win stage 1. Everybody will come down pit side here. Probably see everybody take some fresh Goodyear Eagles and top off on that Sunoco race fuel, so they're ready to go here. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break and be right back on the other side. Bad break.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome you live back here from Echopark Speedway. Wyatt Thompson gets his first stage win in the playoffs. No pit stop cycle here at the end of stage 1. Wyatt Thompson comes out of pit road first alongside Jordan Fisher, Abram goalie Joseph Enright, and number 57 machine. Lights are off on the pace car. Hope get ready to finish off this race here. Remember now, no more guaranteed cautions, right? We get that one stage caution at lap 33. Get some stage points for these drivers, but besides that, no more guaranteed cautions. It's up to the drivers now. If they wreck, obviously we'll get a caution, but if not, the complexity of this race has completely changed. in the pace car. Books it down pit road. The 17, the 77, and that 14 down at Echopark restart zone as we start stage 2. Good jump by the 77. That's the probably the third or fourth time we've seen the restarter get a really good jump, and it's kind of had the force, you know, the lines to kind of check up for him. Lauren Fisher picks up the 77. They both get clear of that bottom side. No one's getting dropped down to the bottom side of the track here. And now, probably some drivers learned from that first stage. That top side just frankly does not work, at least right now. So, oh, you see some contact in the back there. 15 to Hayden Woolley. Got really upset back there. What happened here in the back? Andy's trying to get in line. Kind of uses up to 81. Get back in line. I don't think Mel's gonna be very happy about that. Back live. Outside. Some cars. Wow. Colby Duckworth shot out of a cannon, help from the 29 of Nicholas Road. That's the first time we've seen the top side take the lead here this race. 29 not clear quite yet. The 33 was trying to get that 29 clear. Drop down. I think they're also trying to get the 3 if helmets clear. They are. No stop 3 from the top side. Drop down. No lead the bottom. The bumping down the straights here, and that's something you'll see a lot here at Atlanta. See them all back off here in the corner. You cannot push in the corners here at Echopark or Atlanta, whatever you want to call this track. But you can really shove really hard down the straights. You'll see them, you know, really back off here, maybe save a little bit of temps down the corners, and then when we get down here in the straights, you'll see that 29 inch back up to the back end of this number 33 machine. A little bit of a love tap. Cannot get back to him that lap, but I see everybody right there, back there, single file in the line. They saw that the top wouldn't work. They had that one jolt of energy at the top, and guess what? Those 3 drivers are up leading the race, and now everybody else single file waiting in line, trying to wait on something to happen. I want to hear right now. Yeah. Everybody's saving fuel right now, I believe. With the 29 saving fuel, and everybody's saving fuel, if you ask me. My humble opinion, oh, that was super close there. Tyler Helms got that 29 over 8. So now, and we saw the 33 be aggressive to jump up there, take the race lead. Now he's at the disadvantage. Everybody behind now. We'll go back. We'll go down the back here. We'll go on board with the 87, the 81. Look at this. 3/4 throttle. Saving as much fuel as he can. Compare that to Colby Duckworth. And what I want you fans to look at home are these lights on the dash, those green, yellow, and red lights. Look at, I mean, he's in the green here. He'll pop up to the yellow, probably on the straights here once he gets a little bit of a run. Look at Colby Duckworth. Consistently now in the yellow, right? Jump up to the red a little bit. Just flat out. Go back to the Wyatt Thompson. Somewhat approaching, but you look at the guys in the back, JJ Moore. Alright, these guys have a little bit of damage. We'll go back up to someone like Norton Davis, right? I mean, he's not even in the yellow, right? So that's all I need to know is that guys are saving fuel. And unfortunately for that 33, he can't save fuel, right? Obviously, I think there's a way that probably could save a little bit of gas here because he does have teammates behind. Second and third, I believe, are working together. First, second, third, I should be working together. Tyler Holmes in the VC, as well as Nicholas Road, as well as Colby Duckworth. So those top three are in the VC working together. So theoretically, 33 could be saving a little bit of fuel, maybe lifting on the corners and stuff like that, because those, he's got two guys behind him that are going to set up the field and allow him to save some fuel. But for the most part, that 33 is always going to be a disadvantage as he leaves the field. He has to be in the gas the longest out of the rest of the field here. I have seen some incidents, some moments here, especially on the sim, that the leader will sit at 3/4 throttle, and they will force the field to either fit in line and save fuel with him, or they'll just go around, right? I look back at races I ran in the past. The 4 to 500 is a bigger race that's ran over on the IDK Player YouTube channel, and there were some drivers who were leading the field who were sitting 3/4 throttle. And there was actually a group of like 7 or 8, 9 cars jumped out to the outside and got like a 4 or 5 second gap lead on the rest of the field, just because the leader of the pack was saving fuel, holding everybody back. There was, like I said, 6, 7, 8 cars jumped out of line and just gapped like 4 or 5, 6 seconds. Obviously, they couldn't make it on fuel by just pushing like that. Everybody else was just trying to save. Now, I'm not saying that's what they're doing now, but that's something that they could do. If you want to help Colby try to, help with the fuel mileage situation. So I'm going to lean on the side of, what I've been told the whole season is they usually throw the stage around these guys at the pit. So I'm going to say that the fuel window is going to be in between 60 and 70, depending on how they save fuel. So we're about 10 laps away from potential green-flag pit stops. I'm already starting to see that now because here comes this top side. And Travis Prather said we're only like 10 laps away. I want to jump up to this top side, try to take this lead away. So when we do come down and pit, we're going to have a track position here. And the cool thing about this is that it forces that bottom side to work. It forces that bottom side to push now, right? They want to keep the lead. If they get 10, continuing to save fuel, I just wave that top side on by, saying, hey, we know we can make it further than you. If you want the lead, come and take it, right? So we've seen this bottom side once again start to link up, and I'll go back to the rear deck lid of this 33. See now, 9 really tucked up behind him once again. Trying to get this bottom side to work once again, trying to get that pace that we've seen all race out of this bottom side. We'll see him tucked up behind the 33. We'll probably see some contact now on the backstretch as they try to get this bottom side working once again. A little bump right there. Bang. Now, if and when that top side dies, and you might see these guys start to lay back again, try to conserve a little bit of fuel. But they had that pressure, right? They had that competition for the top. They said, shoot, we need to keep the track position here when we do pit. Let's push a little bit. Get that top side shuffled out, and we can go back to fuel saving. The only driver by themselves right now, this 11, a Max Ford working with the 31, Jackson Brown. Jackson Brown's already a lap down. Max Ford with a lot of damage on this one. I presume maybe he got caught up in that big one involving Peter Hoppy, maybe. But he's, you know, half a lap down now compared to the rest of the field here, trying to work with the 31. He's already gone a lap down. Unfortunate. 11 needed to have a good race here to put himself in a good spot points wise. Right now, currently 17. Lap 55 going to 56 here across the line. So, you know, mostly single file. You see those two drivers at 44 and 58. Trying to use that top side once again. Getting a little bit of some of progress, but once again, I think that's just due to somebody on the bottom fuel saving. So not on that top line to just run full send, try to get back up here towards the front. But once again, I imagine that if they get to that, you know, I would say that probably that fourth car in line mark, probably see, you know, this top 34 guys start to push a little bit, get back, right? Actually see the 58 drop and leave the 44 there. So the 44 will be the only one out there in that top side. And I think for the 58, I would just maneuver to maybe get some track position for this inevitable green flag pit stop if we keep it green. So three teammates out in front. Duckworth, Rode, and Helms. 77, Wyatt Thompson. Kind of by himself in no man's land. And he's got a picture back there. One of the lone Fords up here in the top 5. And then Thompson has the 87, Davis. That's a teammate of his on that bottom side. But here comes the top side once again. 58. Up with the 44. Trying to make this top side work. It really makes me think that we're getting close to green flag pit stops. You'll see, you know, this top side group up like this when they know it's not going to work, unless they want to try to drive up to the field, try to get some track position. Where we go green is, oh, the 44! Caution will wave. Riley Ibanez around. Peter Hoppy, I think, has parked that car. And it's a bad push here in the tri-oval. Good job by the 44 to lock it down, but 83 Hoppy just barely gets caught out in this. Oh man, and a huge hit for the 83. And you hear the engine expire on that machine. He already used his fast repair. That is a night over for Peter Hoppy. well, this is around where we needed to pit. So we just approached. Lap 62. We ran 30 laps now. So, and I guarantee you, because we're now underneath that 40 to go. 39 to go. I imagine if they were trying to stretch it to 35, right? Now they're gonna have to stretch to 39, so. Carmelo Toad to the pits here. According to timing and scoring. Maybe that was a blink out, maybe. Max Ford giving an EOL. That might have given him a second chance at this race, honestly. Stays on the lead lap. Jackson Brown gets the lucky dog. Him down pit road trying to fix as much damage as he can. Actually, Max has gotten top down. That's getting ready to go. One to green. 38 to go here from Atlanta. The lap's ticking down here slowly but surely. Once again, the pace car. The hard left turn down pit road. Two Chevys leading us to green, the 29 of road, the 77. And Thompson leads back to green. I want to point out here, a lot of drivers in the back. They had to start single file. All these drivers back here put down pit road again to top off on race fuel. So they had to start single file. Obviously, I don't think they'll be in contention with having that, try to race back up to the field here. But I'm going to talk about Wyatt Thompson leads that first lap. Wyatt Thompson gonna jump down to his teammate there as he will. Speaking Dorian Davis, Wyatt Thompson on the bottom. We'll see Echopark, 33 of Colby Duckworth back there trying to push that top lane out. Time and time again, we've seen that top side be unsuccessful.
33 to go from Atlanta. Hilda Thompson. The Norrie Davis show right now is nobody's been able to. Now what she's doing is they, have onto the bottom side, been able to, get that run built up here on these front two teammates. Get a 14 of Owen Fisher jumping out those two Chevys right in front of them, side by side behind them. Off the bumper of the 14. Jacob Bryant in this 48 machine, that fifth in line. On that bottom side. Doing a good job running inside the top 10. Look how fast this camera angle makes these cars look. I mean, they're putting it all on the line. There's a little sideways for the 33 of Duckworth there. Unfortunately, the stop sign has not worked all night. I don't know what you could do to make a run here to get around them, right? Like, honestly, Thompson and Davis have this thing kind of played out here. As long as they can save enough fuel to get to the end, all you really have to do is hope that this bottom line is dominant and you sit there the whole race. Like, the only thing that I feel like could have maybe even get them to run is if you see, like, the rest of the pack, like, lag back and get a huge run and just hope that they can get around these two. Fouled at 14. I'm gonna shove here, but the stop side is really stalled out here. On like when they get to that 81, they haven't been able to make any headway. Lap car in the wake here, the 57. Wow, that's right. You gotta get out of the way there. Does that was almost really bad. So it's 4 cars up there on that top side, all teammates trying to make it work. 29 to 3 to 31 and the 33. It really shows that just the stop slide doesn't really want to work out. We have some of the best drivers in the field tonight trying to use this stop slide to get going. I mean, we're right on board with Tyler Helms coming here top of the points. Taking some headway now, actually. That motivation to going on board with someone. Hopefully the stuff I've seen on the stop side. I'm noticing that Tyler Helms is doing, he'll actually drive through that 49 on entry of the corner here, which is really sketchy. If you know your partner here that you're lined up with, to make it work. Caution. Riley slow here. We'll see if we can up in here. Going by himself. Oh, back here in the back. Oh man, that's the 58. Razor. Trying to get up in front of the 33 at Duckworth. Not clear, unfortunately. But he saves it. What a save. Keep that thing going straight. Probably couldn't find the caution. Also, really back up. If there was any fuel concern now, they're gone out the toilet, so. So interesting here. A split strategy. Thought basically that first pack been working together all race. They come down and take some fuel. Make sure they get the tires and everything. Which is, I think this is the smartest thing, right? Because talked about it in the pre-race. There is tire fall off here at Atlanta. So obviously I don't know how hard those guys up front were pushing, but I would love the security of being able to go hard here for 20 laps and not have to worry about, you know, having to save stuff or, you know, getting held up or something like that, right? These guys have the fuel. They have the tires now. Now, this tells me that these guys are pretty confident with this caution that they could fuel save under caution enough to get them to the end. I felt like they were only, you know, about 4 or 5 laps short. So, it's going to be close. See if we can talk to your race later here. Hey, Wyatt, it's Christian up here in the HV2 booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, a little bit of a split strategy for, you know, this front 5 up here. You guys decide to stay out versus, you know, 6 on back, or decide to come down pit road. Obviously, you led, you know, the first majority of this little green flag run here. What's kind of the plan here with this underneath this 20 laps?
I think me and Ken are just going to try and stick together up here. I'm really surprised that many people pitted and someone didn't stay out for track position. I don't feel like we're falling off that bad on tires, but I mean, we're kind of stuck here now. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I mean, we're okay in the playoffs. I think I did pretty good in stage. We're going to cycle out pretty well regardless.
Well, you got that 87, your teammate up there. Going to help you try to, you know, get those, you know, that good finish. But we wish you good luck here in the rest of the race. And 18 to go. We wish you good luck.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
Didn't want to sit too long. Obviously, they're getting ready to go green here. We don't want to interrupt any flow that these drivers might have. Obviously, we love the insight up here in the booth to see what's going on. But you heard it from him. Iowa is not as bad as they expected. So we'll see if this 87 to 77 can get linked back together and can try to hold on to this race win. This car took that hard left turn down Fair Road. Get the two teammates, Davis, Thompson, back in the restart zone, back green here. 18 laps to go from Atlanta. And you see those teammates get linked up. Getting that top side. Not working the best on the start here. Trying to get some momentum there. Get a 3 to 29. Get a 5 of JJ Moore coming up to the top side. Oh, don't get a wreck. 29 around. Gosh, it waves once again. Something happens here. Got a 3. And got on the bottom there. I think that was the 81. Yeah, just an aggressive push to 83. The 3 gets it to the side of the 81 there. And it just shoves, and then the 5 just drives through the 29 there. I don't think JJ knew anything was going on there. And got the 21 or 29 around. The big accordion there. My opinion, if you ask me. Still 2 to go. I think we got enough time to talk to the driver. We got Jacob Bryan up here in the top 5. We haven't talked to him often. Let's go and talk to the driver in this number 48 machine. Hey Jacob, it's Christian up here in the HTV booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, with all the wrecking and carnage there in that last wreck, you put yourself up in the top 5. Not only that, you're the second driver in line with these, fresh tires and good fuel. So, walk us through. Obviously, you drove your way through that caution there, but what's the plan here to potentially get yourself up here in the victory lane?
I'm going to avoid all the carnage and try to win this race. I don't really have a plan. It's a new Atlanta. There's not really a plan to have. So I'm just going to keep eyes forward and pass as many guys as I can.
Obviously, you look here, 15 to go. We have the 2 teammates lead us back to field, and obviously Tyler Holmes has been really aggressive to get himself back up towards the pack. Is there kind of a group of drivers that you're going to try to link up with, or is it just going to try to find whoever you can here at the end?
At this point, looking at the guys around me, it's going to be just survival of the fittest. I don't see any drafting partners I have around me, so I'm just going to fend for myself and make the most of it.
Well, we wish you good luck here in the rest of the race. Obviously, going to 1 to go. We're got you back down, and like I said, good luck the rest of the way. Hopefully, talk you up here in this top 3 position.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I think that was the beat. I hope so. But yeah, we appreciate you talking to us here up in the booth. Okay, yeah, I think I figured I got it wrong. Remember that. But it's going to be the 77 and that 87. 1-2 here. Tyler Helms. I'm interested to see what kind of run he gets because we figured the 77 is probably going to get a jump. He's going to drop down with his teammate, which will most likely lead the top two, the 3 machine of Helms. So Helms will have the 55 of goalie. It looks like the 33 of Duckworth and the 95 Hanley up there naturally on this restart. So interested to see, you know, what that 3 could do with some help. And we'll be getting ready to go back green here. There's 13 to go here from Atlanta. Start the playoffs. I mean, once again, the 2 teammates, Wyatt Thompson and Dorian Davis, the 77 and that 87 Chevy front row. We get ready to go back green here. 13 to go from Atlanta. We're getting that teammate clear. Oh, Tyler Helms tried to get in there. Dorian Davis filled that hole as quickly as he could. Now Tyler's going to have to get some help from the 33 of Duckworth. Look at that. So you have the front 2 as the 2 teammates. And look at that. Look who's 3rd and 4th on that bottom row. The 2 goalie cars, the 55 and the 15, Hayden and Gabriel, have put themselves in a spot to go and win a race here from Atlanta. Topside still not getting any momentum. That's allowed that front 4 on that bomb side to get clear. That's going to allow now the 48, Jacob Bryant, to get clear as well. Once again, it's those 4 teammates on the top. That's the 3, the 33, the 31, and the 29. They're literally almost tandeming down the straights here to try to get something working. That top side just cannot get going here, at least on these first couple starts. Like on the first couple laps here, you're starting to see them build a little bit of mo down the back stretch here and try to get side by side with the 15 and goalie. We're going up to maybe try to put a block on there. That's going to stack up that bottom side. That's exactly what that top side wants to see. Here comes Helms. Trying to make a run. Back up front is still the 2 teammates, Thompson and Dorian Davison, and he has the 55. Go back there, Gabriel and goalie. Try to pick up this bottom. I think right now it's pretty well known that this bottom side is by far the most dominant. So I think as long as, you know, the guys who want to be down there are down there, I think they're content working with each other until they know that they can make the move to go to the top side, try to make something happen, right? Seeing how much the side draft affects the right side of these cars now with this new update. And you can really, you know, if you get these 2 teammates separated, you put yourself in a really good spot. Potentially steal a win here from these Mach 5 guys. So let's see, bottom lane, all single file here. Back there, Tyler Helms trying to spearhead the top side, but just cannot find any success. Ready to go, 6 to go here from Atlanta. Well, goalie gonna go up and try to block. Not gonna work. Tyler Holmes knows better. Now look at them, side by side with the 55 now with 5 to go. I think Tyler Holmes said now it's time. Like, I have to work on the side drop. There goes the 3 machine. Tyler Holmes around. Cautionable wave. And I was just going to start to talk about it. The only success I saw out of that top side is if you're really aggressively side drafting. I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, that was the demise of this 3 machine. Go back and take a look. See a big shove out of the 33 there. Wow, the 15 and goalie came up the track there. And we saw something similar earlier in the race with the 77 and the 11. Takes that inside car to come up just that tiny little bit. And unfortunately, it's that outside car who always gets the worst of it. I'm pretty sure goalie pretty unscathed. So, obviously not intentional. It's just you're racing hard there. We're underneath 5 to go. You gotta give it all. You gotta give it your all. And unfortunately, goalie got up into the left rear of the 3 of Helms and to send him around. I'm pretty sure Tyler still has his fast repair if he wants to use it, so he does. We'll be going in this NASCAR overtime at Atlanta. Tyler does not use the fast repair yet, so the images that appears to be so on that number 3 machine. Go ahead and talk to the 55, the goalie here. You're in really well. He's put himself in a good spot here. Hey, Gabriel, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're sitting back here in third place here. We're going to be doing some, like maybe some overtime here to finish this race out. But you put yourself in a good shot here to go and take a win here from those 2 Mach 5 guys up in front. Is there anything that you think you can do to separate those 2 teammates?
Hopefully get a good jump and push the guy in front of me, whichever one picks the bottom, which it looks like it'll be Kandorian. And hopefully get in between them, disturb their drafting, and see how it goes from there.
And we've seen time and time again this race that this top side just hasn't worked as well as I expected it to. Have you seen kind of the same throughout the race?
Yeah, normally at night, the bottom is much more gripped up than the top here. And you'll need like twice as many cars on the top than the bottom.
Well, luckily for you, you are lining up on this bottom side, like you said, lining up behind this 87 machine. I guess we'll wish you good luck here in this overtime. Hopefully we can end this one here, but we wish you good luck here and eventually get a win here from Atlanta.
Thank you.
Gabriel goalie starts back there in P3. Throw his car right up here. Gonna have to push out that 87, and I think he nailed it right on the dot here. He wants a chance to break up these cars. He's the borderline probably jump to start here and try to get that 87 not clear, right? Needs to make sure that 77 does not get clear of his teammate. If that 77 gets clear, it's gonna be hard to beat. Those 2 are gonna be really hard to beat. Lagging back a little bit on the start. Need to get up there. I'm the race control. I'm a little frowning upon that. At 87 needs to get up there side by side there to make this a fair restart. Go back green there, and the 77 already clear. Man. Now it's back up to what do the guys behind do. You see the top three break really broken away here. Back at Jacob Bryant. He's gonna have a huge run as we hit the white flag. I think the 55. Oh man, I think that 48 needed to go with the 55 there, because they both stalled each other out there as we hit the white flag here at Atlanta. Oh, the 55 is going to go around Gabriel and Goalie, and that's the rest of the field here. The rest of the field in the back around. And just like that, it's going to be a drag race between the two teammates. Dorian Davis, Wyatt Thompson, throwing each other through 3 and 4. Still contact out of 4. Side by side, it's going to be a drag race to the line. Give it to the 87, I think. No, Thompson got it. I swear Dorian Davis got that. Well, regardless, Wyatt Thompson, at least right now, it's his 6th win of the season. Wow, what a finish. Dorian gave it his all there. He actually raced that teammate for the win there at the end. You know, to give him that. As soon as this 87 and the 77 got up towards the front, they never gave away the lead. So. I actually want to go back and take a look. At the replay here. See the margin of victory. I swore that 87 might have got him at the line here. Take a look over here at our blimp cam. Probably the best we're going to get here. Cross the line here. Oh yeah, the 77. Slow it down as close as we can. That is super close. Yeah, he got it at the line. Wow, look at that. At the line. That's how close it was right there. Your margin of victory. Right there. What a finish. What a result. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. Talk to your top 3 finishers. After this break, and let our partners at iRacing and the league sponsors talk to you guys for a quick moment.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
We welcome you back to the Pro Race Show here for the Prestige Cup Series playoff race number 1 here from Echopark Speedway. And wow, what a finish! What a way to end it tonight. We'll go ahead and talk to your top 3 finishers up here in the and talk to Wyatt Thompson down here. 77 machine. He gets his 6th win of the season here. Hey Wyatt, it's Christian up here in the HPTV booth. Got a copy. Hey Wyatt, it's Christian up here in the HPTV booth. Got a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, first of all, congratulations on that win, and what a close win for you with your teammate there and Ken there at the end there. 7/1000ths of a second, but walk us through this race. Walk us through what got you up there. Walk us that battle at the end there between you and your teammate.
I mean, qualified on pole, had a really weird start because Tyler and Max were teammates. They were working together. Once me and Ken and Jordan Fisher was pushing really good tonight. Once we got up there, we were kind of hanging out, doing pretty well. I got the stage win and 4 wins in a row is crazy, especially coming into playoffs. So that's amazing.
Obviously, a great momentum shift for you this latter half of the season, and obviously coming in here winning playoff race number 1. You know, obviously getting a good points. Obviously, it's not winning your end here playoffs, but I'm still getting a good momentum here. And obviously, you and Ken coming 1-2, got to feel special.
Yes, sir. That was a that was a fun fight to the line. I didn't know if we were going to separate there, but once they got right behind us, I saw Ken jump outside, and we were going to run it to the line and see what happened. I'm super happy I came out first, but if he came out first too, I'd have been just as happy for him. And I'm super happy that Hayden got a top 3. It's his first top 3 of the season. He's done really well this season. He's doing great.
Love to see that with the 15 machine. Obviously, coming into these next couple weeks, obviously Darlington, Kansas, they round out this round 1. Is there really a change in the mindset here? Obviously, a win here. Obviously, came in here at second and 15 points above the cutoff. Really, still a change of mindset, or is it still just not hearing?
I think I'm a race for what I can. I'm not going to get too greedy, but I'm definitely, if I have an opportunity, I'm gonna try and go for it now that I've got a little bit of cushion. So we'll see where that takes us and where we plan after the points sort out tonight.
Obviously, it's going to be pretty tight between you and Tyler Holmes, as somehow still came home P4, getting through the carnage there, but should be pretty tight going into Darlington next week. But, regardless of how well Tyler finished, the show is off to you, as obviously you've been 6th race of this season. Congratulations on that. Before let you go, White, anybody you want to shout out, think, or anything for this win tonight here? Anna.
Thank you to Ken and Jordan for being a good pusher, Ken for a good clean fight through the line, and congratulations Hayden on a top 3.
Well, I appreciate your time up here in the booth, and yeah, once again, congratulations, whole team, for the win, and obviously, Ken, you coming home 1-2, but hopefully we can talk to you some more up here throughout the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Wyatt Thompson takes his end of the season and nearly coming home with his first win tonight. And Dorian Davis, he's going to have to settle for P2, but go ahead and talk to the driver of the number 9 machine. Hey, Ken, it's Christian up here at the HV2 booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, bittersweet. P2, 7/1000ths off.
your first win in the season, but coming home behind a teammate. Um, Still a great finish for you in this whole 87 team tonight. Walk us through your day. Walk us through those last couple laps.
Well, for the most part, I knew we had a really fast car. I knew like Atlanta is one of my favorite tracks. Obviously, I mean, I won this race last season. It definitely was on my box to try to check it off again to repeat. But sadly, it didn't come to. But at least the teammate won it. At least one of us won it, and I still got a P2 out of it, good points. But overall, over those last few laps, like I was kind of shaking in my boots because me and Wyatt both were on far older tires than the rest of the field, than the majority of the field. So we're sitting here just hoping for all the cautions we could to try to eat up the laps. But I mean, overall, the car handled pretty decently, and I just wish, like, if I think I made my move too early on Wyatt. If I waited a little bit later, I think I could have caught him off guard, and maybe I could have won the race.
And despite that, still coming home too. And obviously, when we talk about a little bit altered points format here for you guys, obviously you guys are still doing playoffs, but it's not winning you're in anymore. It's just purely based off points. So obviously coming home in P2, I think you had a pretty decent stage one as well to bump you up in the well. But you look at some drivers who came in ahead of you who just didn't have the best race. You look at Max Ford and some of those guys, gonna have a leg up going into Darlington in the so at least something to look at into the future. But talking about Darlington and Kansas, there a different mentality. Or one of those tracks, another track you have circled to potentially go down there and have a good finish at?
Well, Kansas is definitely. I I want to try to win Kansas. That's a track that I'm notoriously good at. I usually have good runs there. Darlington as a whole, it's like I say, a whole other beast. I mean, it's the lady in black for a reason. But I think Wyatt may go 5 in a row because he's pretty solid there. He's better than me there, anyways. But well, I mean, you never know. Maybe I could sneak up on him.
Obviously, we'll never know until we get there in the next week and the next week after that. But regardless, looking at tonight, P2 finish for you, and obviously your teammate White getting that win tonight. Good finish for you, full Mach 5 team. But for you, regardless, congratulations on this good run again. You and this whole 87 team. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank, shout out, or appreciate for this good run tonight?
Yep, definitely like to shout out my good friend Wyatt Thompson. We worked together really well almost the entire race. We knew what to do, what we had to do, and we raced each other clean at the end, which is always a great thing. Definitely like to shout out my other good friend JJ Moore, race control and adminning tonight. I'd like to thank all the other drivers that participated in the race, everybody that's here supporting Prestige, and the broadcast and everything. We appreciate you all.
Definitely appreciate the kind words up here in the booth. Everybody over here, I've license get all the kind words. But congratulations, Kendorian, on your good finish tonight. Hopefully, you can continue to build this momentum and finally get that notch under your belt. But we wish you good luck in the next couple weeks to round out this first round of the playoffs.
Yep, thank you.
Dorian Davis will come on P2, and I can't wait to bring up this driver. Obviously, didn't lead any laps tonight. We'll probably pull up a different graphic for. But Hayden Goldie gets his first podium finish tonight. I'm really excited to talk to this driver. He's gotten slowly better through time and time, and able to navigate through that big one at the end. Let's go ahead and talk to the 15 of Hayden. Hey, Hayden Goldie, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, first of all, Hayden, congratulations! Your first podium finish here this season, and what a heck of a race for you. Obviously, got caught up in a couple wrecks, but were able to drive your way through the field here. Walk us through your race and walk us, how you got up here into this podium spot.
It's mostly about luck and strategy on tires and fuel, and just trying to be cautious of around you.
Yeah, obviously, here at Atlanta, it's a lot different when it comes to these other super speedway races um we come to with how the car changes handling throughout the race here. So walk us through, obviously we had a couple of longer runs. Walk us through kind of how your car changed throughout the run.
You start if you had older tires, you kind of had to let off in 3 and 4 a little bit, but 1 and 2 was mostly fine.
And obviously that big wreck at the end of the race there, you weren't obviously up there in the middle of the wreck. You were able to drive your way through the wreck. Walk us through what you went through to get through there to get your P3 finish tonight.
It was really right in front of me. I just braked and turned into the grass a little bit and kept going.
We definitely saw that on the broadcast. You did a good job getting through the wreck. Obviously, it's pretty difficult um making your way through the wreck, but despite that, still coming home with a third place finish tonight. And obviously, you were one of the last drivers to get into the playoffs to go race for a championship this season, and obviously a good finish tonight gonna really help you, uh get yourself in a spot to to continue to race for a championship. So, obviously next week and the week after we have Darlington and Kansas. Are those tracks that you have circled on your calendar that you think you'll be competitive at or be good at?
Yeah, Darlington I'm pretty good at. It's a good track to do the outside with.
We look forward to seeing what you could do next week at Darlington. Obviously, a pretty tricky track in itself, but obviously a third place finish is a good momentum boost to get you into next week. But Hayden, congratulations! Obviously, a really good run for you. Your first podium spot here. Uh, Super proud of you up here in the booth. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank here for this good run tonight?
Well, I thank my mom, my dad, my brother, and my grandma.
Definitely couldn't do without the family up here, helping you out there. But once again, Hayden, congratulations on this good finish, and hope to be able to talk to you up here inside of a podium spot sooner or later. But once again, congratulations on this third place finish, and we wish you good luck in the next couple weeks.
Thank you.
Hayden goalie comes home P3 here from Atlanta, and got to be in the young, bright kid, just looking to have some good runs here. Got to look out for that. I want to go back and look before we look at our unofficial race results. Let's go back and look at that last caution. If we can find it here. Here we go. See what happened. Get this back going green here. Something happened with the 55 and the Abraham goalie. This is the start of the restart here. And you see the two guys get really out far in front. Something happens in the 1-2, I believe. Now the 45 just gets 48 gets up to the 55 and it's nowhere to go for a lot of these drivers, but the 15, as he said, he was right in front of him. He was able to drive right through it. Look at that. So close, actually. He was closer than we all thought. We'll go race for that win there, but let's go actually go through. I wanted to try to do this tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of these. See what happened. All of the expedite. Trying to figure out how to get these all going. So this was early in the race, lap 2. 95 Stanley comes down, chops off the nose of the 78. Gets the 5 involved, gets the 95 involved. That's the first caution. We then get a caution on lap number 9. Max Ford. Now why we're get a little bit of time. We'll fix this. 77. Later he'll jump up here and grab the 11 here. I think it's here. He'll jump up and grab the 11. That's our second caution. Third caution of the night comes from Peter Hoppy. The 5 of JJ Moore, pushing that 83 out harder and harder and harder, and finally just a little bit of a bad shove here down here on the exit of 1 and 2, hitting that 83 around. Looks a couple of cars here. Riley Ibanez, the 4th caution of the night here on lap 61. Hard aggressive shoving here down the front stretch, saves it. Unfortunately, grabs the 83 of Peter Hoppy. That room, Hoppy's night. He had to end that race early tonight. Nicholas Road. Just a shove by the 29. Puts the 3 back here into the 81. And he just got to get shoved through by that 5, and around he'll go. The penultimate caution here. This is a caution to send this in overtime. Tyler Helms. Off the bumper of the 33. And on the white flag. Coming to the white flag, I believe. Yeah, it's up into the 3 machine there, largely. And luckily for him, Tyler comes home 4th still out of that, so really cool to see that. But that was your rundown of tonight's, incidents that we got to see on camera. But we'll take a look at your unofficial race results. Obviously, we talked to your top 3: Wyatt Thompson, Dorian Davis, Hayden Goley. Top 3 finishers, and we just talked about it. Tyler Helms comes back to a P4 finish after all that. Carmelo Echevera back there in P5. Jack Stanley P6, good run for him. Colby Duckworth back there 7th. 8th will go to Jordan Fisher. 9th, Joseph Enright, and JJ Moore. That's your top 10. Running out the rest of the field tonight. Max Ford, Jackson Brown, Riley Ibanez, and Nicholas Road. Round out your lead lap finishers, and then Travis Prather, Gabriel Ngoli, Jacob Bryant, all those guys caught up in that last wreck on the last lap. And out early, Peter Hoppy, John Brassard, Cash Colt. But what a race. What a finish. Obviously, the 2 teammates beating and banging there for that last half lap to get race for the win. Obviously, Wyatt Thompson racing for his 6th, and Dorian trying to race for that first win. We saw that the 77 just barely eked him out, 7/1000th of a second over his teammate in the 87. But what a race, and what a win for Wyatt Thompson. Is continued the streak. He said 4 in a row here. What a streak he's been on, and he's scary coming into the playoffs now. Tyler Helms was really hot at the start and has cooled down, and Wyatt Thompson has taken the torch and has just continued to knock off win after win after win. Obviously, his 6th win of the season, his 4th win in a row here in the PRS Cup Series for season 2. And obviously, a great way to start the playoffs here with a win. Gonna get inching closer on points to Tyler Helms. Obviously, Tyler had a decent stage. And obviously, he still finished 4th, so a good point stay for Tyler nonetheless. Like I said, it's not winning you're in anymore. It's purely paced off points from round to round. So it's gonna be interesting to see how people can navigate through that. But I think it's time to call it a night here from Atlanta. What a show, what a race, and we got a little bit of everything. We got some green flag runs. We had the big one. We had the big one. It looked like twice, right? Throughout the race, and it was a ton of fun up here in the booth to call. But from everybody over here on High Velocity TV, myself, I'm Christian Elgato, your lead producer and commentator. We appreciate anybody coming out and watching the broadcast tonight. There's a ton of people who work in the background, working their tail off to make sure everything runs right and works right and everything else, and we're super grateful for that. If you're looking to have us jump on board and broadcast, whatever it is, a league for you guys, endurance race, we couldn't come to before about, broadcasting, someone split in the 6 hours of Glen. Obviously, we're not very adequately equipped for like doing a full 24-hour broadcast. Like, obviously, the iRacing race spot, people do a really good job at doing it. Obviously, I don't think we are equipped to do something like that yet. Excuse me. But if you guys are looking for any broadcasting needs, something like that, or if you're looking to, become a part of the HVTV family, whether it's being up here in the booth, up in the commentary booth with myself or all of our other talent, whether it's, being behind the scenes, being a producer, which we pay pretty well for here. Producing is super underrated, and a lot of people don't get a lot of credit for it. But if we didn't have producers, we wouldn't have a show. So if you're looking to do that, or if you're an up and coming graphic designer, looking to get some dip your toes in the working for a network side of things, something that you'll have to do potentially in real life if you want to take your talents into the actual industry. We are also looking for young, talented graphic designers just trying to get their dip their toes in and see what it's like to work with the production side of things. But if you guys are looking for any of that, make sure to email us over at hvtvbroadcasting at AOL.com. We also do have our Discord server posted in the description down below. You guys are more than welcome to join the Discord server and join the HVTV family. And honestly, that's the best way to get a hold of me is via Discord. So obviously I'll be at the top of the names there under the founder name if you guys are looking for any information or anything else like that. But we do appreciate everybody for coming out. Once again, congratulations to Wyatt Thompson on his 6th win of the season. We'll be back on tomorrow for the AWC Pro Series as they kick off races in their regular season where they start their chase. And then Saturday we'll be back in for the regular season finale for the ICF Cup Series on Saturday. And then after Saturday, we'll be doing some more high velocity TV after dark. Next gen Talladega, O'Reilly, Las Vegas. And for that next gen Talladega, we'll be doing the updated 110 horsepower package. We've done some testing in it, and it looks like it's going to put on a lot of good racing. So on Saturday, obviously, if you're not interested in watching a lot of the league broadcasts, make sure to race with us or just tune in for HVTV After Dark Saturday night. Should be going live around probably 10:30ish Eastern. And just going to put on some fun hosted races, and we hope to see you guys there. Once again, we hope everybody has a great rest of the night. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we look to see you tomorrow for some AWC Pro Series action.